Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to Project PITT. It is a game about shoveling ducks into a hole. That's it, that's the game. I played the demo for this a couple months ago, absolutely adored it. Okay, wait. Feed the pit. What happens if I feed the pit? Not like that. I had to try it, I didn't actually previously. Alright, well, anyway. So, yeah, the entire premise of the game is crank this, get duck, bring duck to hole, get money. Unfortunately, I can only pick one thing up at a time. So, this is kind of gonna be slow. For a bit. I think I can eventually throw things. Oh. Quack, our first duck. We'll do this. But yeah, I don't know. I had a very good time playing the demo for this, and I'm so excited that it is finally coming out. This has been the year of, like, really banger. Oh, right. This game has, like, next to no music from what I remember, doesn't it? Audio, music volume. Is it 100%? I don't know if we have music. So I might actually have to turn on my own. I just don't do amazingly well in silence. But yeah, this year has been absolute banger for, like, really interesting incremental games. I know a lot of people are going to compare this to Berry Berry Berry. And they did in the demo video. Interestingly enough, these were developed completely independently, like the Berry 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 developer and the Project PITT developer both talked about this, about how, yeah, they had, you know, no contact with each other, no knowledge, and then obviously Berry 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 came out first, but this was in development long before. So we can, what can we do? Sprint, jump, crouch, throw. Throw wouldn't be bad. So let's grab that. Unfortunately, this game has a little bit of hitching sometimes. It's not that big of a deal, but the performance gets a little weird when it comes to recording and some other stuff. It's not too bad. Oh, if I move? Oh no, it just reset for whatever reason. Oh well. Not a big deal. Okay. Now how do I throw? Oh, that's pathetic. Now, is this 5? Yeah, it's 5. Okay, we have a combo multiplier. I might actually try and assemble these a little bit. I don't know how much I benefit from having a combo of 5, but I want to see what it gives me. $4. Carrying solution authorized. Cool. I don't think I can afford it. Tools plus box. Nope, cost $5. There it is. We've got a crate. Alright, and if I position this kind of well, we can actually have the ducks land inside the bin. And they'll weigh it down, and then I can just drop the whole bin in, and it's much easier. Well, okay, they're not all gonna land. There's a little bit of RNG in how the ducks fall. And I can just load the box up once I think I have enough to fill it. There's no, like, rush. But yeah, so there was this, well, I mean, there's obviously this game, and there's Berry Berry Berry, there was Idle Directive, there was Idea Fix, which, admittedly I haven't gone back to see what the fixed version of it looks like. That had a bit of a rough launch. But each and every one of them have taken, like, kind of the incremental, mechanics, ideas, and expressed them in really interesting ways. Oh, that's pretty good. Let me get this back too. Okay, duck optimization available. Okay, middle mouse button for free rotating. Do this. I wonder if they actually made it easier. To do things now. Okay, so what do we have? Toys. Golf club. Huh. That's new. Crafting speed and crafting value. Well, the value is insane. So let's actually just chuck one duck in. Well, that stinks. Of course, my ducks aren't spheres. They're not going to roll like a sphere would. But yeah, crafting speed would be lovely, but doubling the duck value is massive. Okay. Drop. Right. Oh, there is music. So I don't have to turn on my own. Okay, craft value. So far, so good. So now every duck is worth $2 instead of just 1. Which will give us, it doubles your income. We want to get up to the point where we get physics objects. That's the thing that really draws this game in. I mean, obviously the box is a physics object, and I think it's neat. But eventually we get like bumpers and fans and the ability to make like passages and whatnot, and it is sick as hell. I have become disillusioned with games that are very on rails with their mechanics. It's boring to me, and so the idea of games having like physics to play around with as like a core gameplay mechanic, I think has always been something I've loved. One of my like go-to games when I was a child was playing The Incredible Machine. Absolutely fantastic game. Genuinely like one of the best ever made from like a puzzle perspective, even if obviously it's pretty old at this point. But just, it was a pristine way of kind of having a bunch of basic puzzle mechanics. Effectively, every level you were given kind of a instruction, or like a goal or something, like get X balls over here, do X, Y, or Z, and you'd have to use like a limited amount of parts to Rube Goldberg a solution. And so it could be platforms, it could be, pinball boosters, it could be any number of things. And yeah, just use those to solve puzzles, I guess. And so I don't want to fully say that like the more on-railsy things, incremental games that is just like basic number go up, I don't hate them, but I'm bored by them. None of them excite me nearly as much as they used to, because what agency do I have in that? I did a video for, what was it called? Revolution Idol, a couple months ago, and enjoyed it. Like, it was fine, but it was one of those where you just let the game run, for hours, and it would just give you points and go up and whatnot. Like, there's a degree of agency on that. You had kind of like a talent tree that you could pick and choose various upgrades from, but it was still very limited in what you could do with it. Okay, bumper is 200, but we're going to wait on that one because it actually isn't helpful yet. Orientation reset. Instantly squares a held asset upright and facing you. Non-compliant angles will be corrected, with or without consent. Funny. Unfortunately, most of these are meaningless. The sprint upgrade, actually. I could take that. These are cheap. Let's just grab them. Because it seems like it unlocked some new stuff for me anyway. Oh, sprint is so good. I was originally trying to decide how much I wanted to even spend. Because we do want to save our money for bigger and better upgrades if we can. Anywho. But the problem with like the basic number go up is that like, yeah, if you're not giving players good gameplay, they're kind of boring. You can get around that by having really interesting build options. The players have to kind of puzzle out how to make the game actually like beatable using a limited set of abilities and upgrades and whatnot. Most tend to just kind of trend towards, no, here's just a big talent tree that you invest into. It's not just like level up 1 through 90, but it might as well be for all the variation that you've got in that kind of format and formula. And so, it's nice having some incremental games. Okay, debris management. Okay. Debris management, something, and combo metrics. Let's see what I can do with those. So equip protocol. Bind a held instrument to your hand for a direct operation. Idle tools are unproductive tools. So we have a broom, which is an option, but we don't need it at the moment. Combos. Time extension, time stability, bonus amplifier. And I know there's chaining that we can do too, but we're going to leave that for later. The only thing I care about is this box. Now I might be able to... Well, hold up. Maybe we do want the broom. Okay. And then I'm just going to have to sit here for a while. Spinning out ducks. And then we're going to just try brooming them all in simultaneously. I remember it being a mess. The other thing I could consider is potentially getting multiple boxes full of ducks that I toss in one after the next. I don't know how practical it is the one question. So let's give the broom a shot for now, and then work our way up. There's also a magnet that makes the broom, like, wildly overpowered. But we have to get there, too. And then after that, I have no idea what comes after the magnet. I guess there's the glue gun, which I didn't get to use too much of. Okay, there we go. Oh. I don't... I don't... I just realized I can't equip things. I have to buy the ability to equip stuff. Oh, I'm being trolled. And is manageable. Okay. Go for broke. Take what I can get. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need equip protocols before I can do this, because this is not gonna work. This is gonna drive me nuts. Okay. Grab equip protocol. I was not expecting that to be nearly as frustrating, but hey, here we are. Okay. So if I equip this, perfect. And now that's going to be much more reliable than holding it at extreme distance and then whacking occasionally. So I think the broom is better than the box right now. There is a bigger box that I can get. That is a good option. Obviously, we need to unlock it first. At least for now, we're just going to try and broom things. I just don't want to get like too obsessive over building a machine when I know it's not going to be practical, that there's better upgrades later. Okay. It'll be nice having the auto crafter as well, because that is another thing that I can do. Alright. Unfortunately, the ducks are not round. They slide nice. But not the best. Alright, there we go. Combo of 19. That's good money. Do we unlock anything new? No. It's a combo, time extension, time stability. Bonus amplifier, but no. I think we just keep waiting. Yeah, I can just sit here for a little while. Just churning out ducks. Eventually we'll get an auto crafter, and oh, that's gonna be nice. Except for the fact that it, you know, keeps crafting forever, and you know, then I'm gonna have just a massive pile of ducks on my hands if I'm not careful. It's fine. Worst comes to worst, I flood the room so wait, that'd be really funny, actually. Of a build that is entirely designed around having too many ducks, so it can't help but just fall into the pit endlessly. I don't think it would be worth it. I think you'd be much better off going for other things, because you probably just have to leave the game running here for like 10 hours generating ducks. I bet the physics collisions after a certain point would be so heinous that it's not even worth. Like, it would crash your PC before you could actually get that to work. That's the one thing about games. Like, I think I was talking about this specifically in my first video on Project PITT, because the Legend of Zelda remake, or Ocarina of Time remake, had been announced, and a lot of people are talking about, like, do we need modern graphics? And I personally think the answer is no. This game looks fantastic, even though it is just chunky pixel textures. I love chunky pixel textures. And same thing with the low poly models. It's just a nice vibe. It looks great. And it's not just trying to look like reality, so it can actually have, like, style. Or, in this case, I want to say it's like an absence of style. It's brutalistic in the way that I think is actually extremely powerful-ish, considering this game's message is somewhat supposed to be about, like, corporate busy work and drudgery, but also, you know, a little bit of SCP horror, question mark. I haven't fully, like, clocked it because I haven't played long enough. Okay, kinetic transfer maximize. Larger container requisitioned. Okay, we're getting some stuff. Okay, tool, box. Bigger box is 150. I like the idea of it, but eh. And do we want to grab the bonus amplifier? I think we do. So, as nice as the bigger box is, managing it is annoying, so I'm not going to bother. Okay, as I was going to talk about with pixel textures looking modern and some other things. No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just the idea of, like, I don't know, I prefer games that aren't just trying to go for, like, maximal realism. There's a couple of games that did that and, like, really wowed me, but I think the only time I care for maximal realism in a video game is if they're trying to do so in, like, a really sci-fi or fantasy environment. Like, I think having speculative science fiction rendered in extreme detail to the point where it's, like, virtually indistinguishable from reality is kind of cool. Obviously, you know, depending on how you use it, that could be a little spooky eventually, maybe. Mostly for VR. But, like, for video games and stuff, like, okay, I can work with that. But even then, like, you only need a couple of games that do that. And then after a certain point, why bother? And then also, a lot of those games just aren't good games. They kind of forget how to be fun. And they're so focused on, like, the realism, the aesthetic, and don't spend nearly enough time about being, like, a fun toy. I'm not sure if I qualify this as a fun toy yet, but we'll get there. Because yeah, I'll be able to do some pretty goofy things, hopefully. Just gonna keep working on this. We really want that crafting speed. Okay, this is probably good enough. Yeah, the one thing I don't understand about this game, I mean, there's an amount. I don't understand what its unlock parameters are. Okay, faster ducks available. So that's probably... Okay, so we have the auto machine, but it's 1,000. I think I'm going to grab crafting speed for the moment. What else do we have? Nothing there. So yeah, do we want to get up to the 1,000? I think we get up to the 1,000. Let's see how much faster this is. Oh, that is satisfyingly faster. And then we'll go for the auto crafter, because then I can spend less of my time just staring at this thing as the meter goes up a bunch and making ducks. And like, at least it's one of those where I can sit around chatting and just not worrying about, well, not worrying about just sitting here talking about whatever's on my mind. Let's see. The puzzle games have been seeing kind of like a weird renaissance, sort of. Well, yesterday I was playing Big Walk with my friends, which I think actually that video is going out, I don't want to say concurrently with this one. It's either coming out today or it's coming out in a day or two. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But I'm seeing a lot more like weird puzzle games, not your like classic go here, solve puzzle, move on to next room or something like that, but much more like open-ended things. Because Big Walk is technically a go here, solve puzzle, move on to the next. It's just crossed with open world, so it's a little bit more nebulous. This one I appreciate because it is a puzzle where the actual solution is easy. Pick up, duck, bring to hold, but that's like the least optimal solution you can possibly come up with. And so stuff like the boxes or the brooms and whatnot give you a lot of interesting variation in how you play in a way that feels puzzly without actually strictly being as such. And I think the older I get, the less I care about games with like heightened action reflex combat and whatnot. I like me some Bloodborne, I like me some Elden Ring, I like Hades. But the thing I get out of, I get the least out of the action combat, the dodging, the blocking, the parrying, the, you know, pushing myself to the limit to beat the bosses. That's fun, but it's not a transferable skill, I've kind of discovered. And maybe this is just because I've played so many goddamn roguelikes over the years, but every single one of them is kind of different. Leg hydraulics improved, so that probably just improves my sprint. Combo protocols upgraded. I just don't think we care. Airflow generator authorized. Okay, so that's the fan, which we do want. But not yet. I want to get the auto crafter first, just to save myself the effort. Unless we can upgrade duck value. I should go check that real quick. Because that is just... Oh, craft value. Now every duck I think is worth 3. So either 3 or 4, one way or another, both are good. What was I going to say about anything? Puzzles, open-ended. Oh, right, action combat and whatnot. I don't get anything out of that. Like, it's fun learning how to beat Hades for the first time. It's fun learning how to beat a Souls-like. But, I mean, Souls-like's Bloodborne, for example, parry timing in Bloodborne is nebulous. And, like, well, you can kind of get good at the idea of parrying. The windows and timing and everything changes from one game to the next. Sometimes it's just as soon as the enemy starts their attack animation. Sometimes it's just as soon as it hits you. Sometimes it's kind of a weird in-between, and you have to kind of feel it out with every single enemy in every single game. And so it's one of those where it's like, I love the idea of these systems, but unless that's the only game I'm playing for an extended period of time, and then I never come back again, it's not really worth it. Whereas, like, learning how to do creative puzzle solving is infinitely transferable. Maybe not to every game, but the kind of thought process behind it is. And so, like, for this one, you know, figuring out, like, what is the optimal way through it is both, like, one of the main draws, but also one of the main joys. Because, yeah, I've seen a lot of comments from people talking about all the different ways that they specifically played the demo when that was out. It's actually hurting my hand just holding this down for a little while. Also, yeah, they should be the last that we need to farm for that. Not you. Oh, there's a duck. You cannot escape me. Let's see. But, yeah, people commenting on, like, my crazy fan wall situation that I had going on in the demo. If you want to see what I'm talking about, we're going to revisit it for sure. Better. Okay, 57 combo, plenty of doing. Evasive maneuvers. What? Feels like unlocks come faster now. Okay, evasive maneuvers. Grid alignment. Oh, well, that would be nice. panel. So we have panels, we have fans, broom, that, combos, and toys. No idea. But we're going to get the auto machine for now. So now we have this. Do I have to turn it on? There we go. Okay, so this is just going to spit ducks for me. Slowly, admittedly. But it'll at least be spitting ducks that I can then sweep in. Yeah, I think I might just go take a break for a second. Okay, that's a tidy pile of ducks. Let's start shoving these out of the way. Yeah, I could have gotten like a crate in the way and dragged it over. That is what I tried doing last time. It was stressful. I don't know if herding ducks in this manner is particularly amazing. Okay, I'm gonna take this and move it over here though. Alright, there we go. Let's see. I could have done like a mouse macro to hold down left click. That actually wouldn't have been a bad idea either. On the mini machine, just have like a ridiculous number of ducks. But I'm sure this will be kind of enough. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, magnetic field authorized. Okay, spinal compression improved. Oh, that's for crouching, presumably. Okay, well, products. Yeah, we can't get the next level of this. We can get more craft value, which is huge. Where's the magnet? Costs 1,000. It's worth it, though. I'll show you why. This should be enough. At least at the moment, I think the magnet's very much going to be worthwhile. And does unlock, like, a bunch of potential options for me, if I want to go that direction. Okay, there we go. Okay, tools, magnet. Magnet doesn't move too fast. So yeah, we can... Oh. I forgot. Yeah, we have to activate that. So, now we have kind of a little magnet ball that I can shove along and move around. It's extremely helpful at... well, collecting stuff. Here we kind of go? I don't know. So yeah, I can get a giant cluster of ducks all together, stuck in that magnet field, and then use them to just chuck in all at once, which is going to be huge. I think we want to shoot for about 500 and see if we can get our hands on that, that crafting value bonus. And then after that, we look into, I don't know what. Because I only need one magnet at the moment. Yeah, eventually we'll start building fans, but we don't want to yet. Okay, that should be good enough. Look at it. It's a nice roving pile of duck. And it's like a really easy big combo bonus. One downside on this. Do I have to reactivate the... You have to reactivate that every single time. Okay. But yeah, we might as well go for the crafting value. And then I'd like to go, maybe auto crafting speed? Oh no. Here's a question. Can I... OP auto clicker. Can I just hold? it doesn't seem like it has a whole, just an auto hold. Because yeah, for whatever reason, my index finger is hurting just a little bit for holding the mouse button down. It's not my favorite thing in the world. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait until that pile looks reasonably large. And then we'll do a second cycle of it. Or, well, second cycle, we'll go grab it and bring it over and move it over. I was trying to think of how many cycles am I getting between outputs on that other one. So it's about 2. So this is twice as fast as the auto collector. But I have to manually collect it, and that's annoying. I think that's looking pretty solid. Let us merge the 2 duck piles. And yeah, shockingly, this is enough for it all to stay together. 900 combo. Hell yeah. Chain reaction detected. Okay, chain mastery acknowledged. We've got some stuff. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so magnet panel upgrades. Sticky tools. Freeze tool positions on contact with surfaces. Physics compliance now optional. Gravity fears our HR department. Okay, so having sticky tools gives us a huge amount of options. Grid alignment is really tempting, actually. Yeah, I'll pick that up. Don't worry about it. Okay. Guess I should probably just do this. What about here? Yeah. I'm gonna need more. Yeah, resetting orientations might be good. Oh, this is gonna be huge. Yeah, because these don't fall over anymore. I'm gonna need so many of these to make this work. Now, that's an option, actually. Because one option we do have is actually making it a chute system. Let me just line this up. Make sure it's lined up. Oh, that's weird. Interesting. It's grid aligned. 1 meter grid. Okay. I don't know how this became desynced as hard as it did. But it did. So this is going to take a while to set up, so let's just take our time. Move this over. I wish I could actually see the grid myself. Okay, actually, let's snap the rest of these in position. For now. We need to grab this broom. Because this pile is starting to look a little much. I think we should probably get the duck value before I do too much more. And I should have done that beforehand. Yeah. Because this is products, crafting value. There we go. Because now they're worth, what, 4 instead of 3? Which is probably worth it. Better jump than I thought I did. So, main question I have on this one is this. So actually, I can move all of this over by 1. Yeah. We're going to move all this in just by a bit because we want it to be as straight of a shot as possible. Let's see. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait. We need a lot more money before I can actually do anything with this. So, I guess let's go back to making these. Because what I want to do is make effectively just a giant duct har that delivers ducts in using airflow currents. The main problem boils down to I'm going to need like 100 panels. That's $10,000 dues. And one option I do have is potentially disregarding all of this briefly and just making a giant, like, catcher's mitt around the hole on the opposite side. It's not the worst idea, because I only have so many panels, and that way I could use wind preemptively. It would effectively just be, I think, a big V with fans pointed inwards so that any and every duct that gets stuck in there just gets pushed inwards. Yeah. I think that might actually be the more practical thing for me to do, rather than trying to make the duct now. Because that's at least achievable with the tools that I have available to me. Wrong button. I do wonder what the maximum number of ducts I can have. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, there we go. I foolishly locked the magnet to the ground. This is why I was thinking of having some kind of catcher. Wouldn't be the worst idea. Okay, automation accelerated, so that probably gives more auto. Probability manipulation? So we have a remote. Oh, toggling devices. Okay, that's kind of good. Luck. Chance for enhanced quality products. Okay. Got some options there. Chain combos, which, yeah, there's a lot of reasons to want that. Do I want to go for the craft speed for now? I think so. I will grab one fan and then as many panels as we can get our hands on. least I don't think we lose it. Okay. Put that there. Yeah, so it has to fix to something. If I don't have that, I can't fix it to anything. Maybe we do this, actually. Yeah. Because there will be a bit of a lip. Something might get caught there, but it's not as likely. Not as synced up as I'd like it to be. Oh well. Okay, do we want to do this? I think so. I think we kind of want to just enclose it. Even if it's a little off. Yeah, because the next spot would be over a little bit. Messy. But I think it's fine. Alright. Set up. If we're lucky. These are lined up. They are not. Yeah, let's just have a wall here. If I can. Line them all up, make it nice and tidy. Oh yeah, because I don't have to have the magnet active until it's time to go get all this stuff. We could potentially also play around with my shoot idea with the manual crafter. Potentially. I know the fan is really aggressive and will send things flying over this, though, which is a bit of a concern. Because the one thing I could do is actually pitch the ceiling a little bit. Kind of have like a diagonal. Oh, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I'll look into that in a bit. Rotate these. Okay, so we have a fan here. Yeah, I just want to put this here. Activate it. So, a duck. Okay, so actually just like a handful more panels will do the trick. At least for the manual crafting. Okay, yep, not a problem. In retrospect, I shouldn't even grab those. We want this. Go grab my broom. Push this along. Push this closer. All right. Let's see if this... Perfect. Yep. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Physics bends to corporate hell. Hydraulic press authorized. Hold up. What does that do? Press. Crush unused tools. Oh, for scrap value. Eh. Honestly, let's grab one more fan. Combos. Another bonus amplifier. But only those for now. All right. So what I'm thinking is we take just a number of these panels and kind of pitch them here. There we go. So that way, none of these ducts will... Yeah, even if they bounce and roll a bunch, they get caught by the slight pitching. Oop. Okay, one went over. So it is possible. But not common. That one of the ducts can end up over. That's fine. Okay, keep working on this. Let's see. Grab the magnet. We're just gonna activate it. Activate? Nope, that's not it. There, now it's active. Perfect. Okay, then... Okay. Apparently. This needs to be a lot further, or a lot closer than I thought. Okay. So, yeah, the fans don't have as much distance as I thought they would. They're still extremely useful. And yeah, this, I mean, is working insanely well. Grab the broom. So that means I might have to get really tricksy about how I handled my chutes here. Like, a straight shot might... Well, absolutely is not going to work in this circumstance. And that magnet is too weak. Okay. So, in that case... grab this. Lock this here? Yeah, because I can have that in the wall. Okay. So that should mostly work. Let's see here. Let's take this. We're just gonna start combining these two panel passages. Kind of at a diagonal until they meet. We might have to move things around because they might be on separate grids. And that's no bueno. Okay. The other thing to consider is that let's see. No, I can probably have this go one more distance unit. That there, perfect. Okay, because we're going to want to have another fan kind of at the end of this pointed down this chute. Because they'll start cannibalizing some panels, though we should buy some more. Interesting that they have panel level 1, so that means that there is a higher tier panel that I can get. Well, this'll do for now. Oh, I should probably buy more fans. Because I'm going to need 2 of them. And then another panel. Okay. I can kick these way too dang far. But it's fine. As soon as I've got this set up and going, yeah, they're desynced from each other. Which is fine. Maybe we do want it like this, because we don't mind if there's a bit of stuff missing. This is why I was hoping I could actually see the grid itself. In that case, no. No, I think we want it to be here. There we go. Okay, where's my fans? Dropped over here. Okay. That's an issue. Leave it there. Because I think I'm going to have to move this one. One more. We're just going to have to hope that these are connected. They are not. This is a small nightmare. You know what, actually? This is too annoying. It's not going to work. I just have to have this not snapped. Yeah, I can move that over. Put that there. That there. Because, yeah, the goal is once they end up in this section here, they get shunted all the way out. So the one problem with this one is because of this angling. Can I change the axis lock, axis snap mode? So I want snap mode. I might just have to have 2 fans. I don't know. Yeah, this is slightly no bueno. Especially because not everything lines up. These panels don't make straight grid business. Okay. I'm gonna spend too dang much time trying to get this to function correctly. We want to do that because, yeah, we want that to be lined up as much as possible. Yeah, this ain't gonna connect because these are not actually on the same grid with each other. Almost makes me wish the platforms weren't the same length endlessly. You know what? Maybe I get goofy. I'm gonna set that up. Okay. Another panel. There. Nothing should be getting past this fan, though that fan might move. Okay, did I have another fan? I do. This one. Okay, I just want to see what this looks like. Okay, so it works, but I'm going to have to make this whole catcher's mitt way more effective because we are having all sorts of things fly where they should not. Let's go grab my broom. Because this magnet is being overwhelmed. Alright. Grab all this together. Some of those are going to get... Alright, that's good enough. Okay, drop that. I'm going to turn this off for the moment. We need, well, more panels. At some point we get bigger panels, but... we just set that. That? Yeah, something like that. Alright. Throw it with right click. Yeah, we've got a couple of stray ducks that have already just gone on a journey. Yeah, I think we want to at least encapsulate this entire system. Before I do too much. Now, there's a possibility that this fan is not going to be enough and I'm going to need more fans, but I guess we could just have them at angles. Those lined up? I think they are. I hope with everything it all lines up. Otherwise, we're going to have weird gaps. We're going to have weird gaps. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can grab one of the many fans. I didn't buy any fans. Well, let's just lock this off at the very least. Because we don't want any of the ducks going over. Yeah, we don't want any of the ducks flying over this, because that would be bad. It would cause just undue havoc. You should be here. Yeah, this is where the grid mismatch is going to drive me nuts. Yeah, so I can't line those up. Hopefully. What even is that? I have no idea. This maybe I should actually just have this as hard angles. Yeah, I think trying to do this at diagonals was a mistake. We can do diagonals at the end of the road. Where we have to. I'm gonna turn that off for the time being. Pull these out. Yeah, better to only use diagonals when you absolutely have to, otherwise it just scuffs the whole factory. Okay, there. Yeah, better to just do all of this. Move this fan out. I wonder if you can actually blow through the panel. They have holes. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, way easier for me to just move all of this in. Move it around. Probably go look at the auto crafters for a second and figure out where that lands. I'm so glad that there is no time quota on this. It would be pretty dire if the game was just like, yeah, you need to have like X number of ducks per second. Excuse me. Okay, move that out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this around again for the nth time. It's fine. It's a pretty quick fix, all things considered. Okay, though I should make sure that this is all lined up. Really wish I could actually pick up like a gazillion panels simultaneously. And just kind of click and hold them. There we go. But it's fine. I want to see if tunnel snakes really do rule. And what I can do with that knowledge. To see if I can have those intersect. Otherwise, I guess we can set this to diagonal here. Yeah, something like this. There we go. Okay, that should honestly work. And then we want to just make this a little taller. Okay, so the one problem with this now is I can no longer shove the magnet hell through the mix. I mean, I guess I could actually take out a couple of panels and then just do a quick sweep in. But I think what we do instead is push it into this mess. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. There. I don't know how tall we want to have this chute. Okay, put that there. We want to just have this locked off in case anything goes high. One. Yeah, I would love it if the grid-based placement was actually like a true grid, and the diagonals would actually become slightly longer, intentionally, to facilitate clean grid-based building. But I'll take what I can get. Alright. So next up, to be able to build all of this out. I don't have enough money. But at least I can kind of start getting this up. And honestly, we'll have enough money shortly. Okay, turn this on. Yeah, so that ain't gonna work for a moment. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this here. Grab this broom, let's get a bit more money, because I'm gonna need a bunch of fans to make this work. And more panels. I don't have my magnet on. Really? They're really stringent about how these things connect. Okay. Grab the broom. Because, yeah, I'm going to need a little bit more money. Toss that over there. At some point, we'll have to make the hydraulic press to get rid of stuff like the box. But it's fine. Okay, that's a decent chunk of money. And the loose ducks here. Dignity sold separately. What does that mean? I don't know. Experimental stimulants approved. What? Okay. That there. Yeah, so maybe that's what I can do. Okay, I've got 2,000 for this. So they're starting to go through. So I'm going to need... get like 5 fans. And then as many panels as it'll let me. We are so close to good. Let's take the panels, block this off real quick. I don't need too many. Block that off there. Okay, goal on that is to just limit how far they can go. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a fan. This might make a mess. Okay. It is. I think there a little bit. So the fan is sending them flying. Not as aggressively as I thought it would be, which is good. Yeah, we'll just have that there. Main goal of this is just to prevent the ducks from getting too far over. So that they're all kind of within my realm of influence. That's all the panels I was able to buy. I guess I did build a lot of this. There we go. One more panel? I have one more. Less than I was hoping for. Perfect. I guess in that case, knowing that these can fuse into the wall. Perfect. I'm going to grab one more of these. Shifts optimized. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm going to need a decent chunk of duck, or a chunk of fans to get what I want done. Yeah, so that's not going to work as well as I was hoping for. Okay. I want to see what's going on in here. I don't know. is the one concern. Do I have more fans? I do. I think the fans got weaker over time. Do something like that. The problem is they're not actually going in. I think they're all getting stuck there. Okay. I might need to keep poking at this. Because, yeah, diagonals are going to be the way. Any more fans? No, it's just these. Where'd my magnet go? Do we want the magnet? I have no idea. Because, yeah, I was expecting this to send them flying. It did previously, but I think I might actually just need more. Well, this makes herding pretty easy. I'm just going to send them down the chute, and we're just going to call it a day, because this video has gone on a little longer than I want to, and I got things to do. One way or not, I adore this game. I think it's so freaking cool, and I can't wait until I can actually physics puzzle this into doing exactly what I want it to do. And I might just have to jam enough ducks into this system that it has no choice. What the hell happened here? Oh no? I think we had just like a massive freaking clot of ducks. Which is really funny to say and even think about. My arteries are clogged with rubber ducks. That seems distinctly unhealthy. Well, at least I know that I can climb on top of a major artery and just sweep. Okay. I'm gonna need some fans. Like, more panels are gonna be good, but I think I need things to constantly get... Nope, no, that ain't gonna work. Maybe it will. I don't know. There might be some funky setups for this. I just need more air. Pushing down. Yeah, because I was hoping to have like a direct line. There is also the bumpers. I have not even thought of trying to put bumpers in them. I think bumpers also increase their value. The one question is... do these actually need to be jammed in here? It actually feels like it might be better if they aren't. Okay, now we just don't have enough ducks in this. Which is entirely valid. There we go. I'll have to figure this out. Because we're getting a decent chunk of ducks here, just not going far enough. I'll put it there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to need a ridiculous number of fans to send these ducks along. It's going to take a while. I probably should actually get the boosted autocrafter, and I should have gotten that a while ago. But look, man, I have my obsessions. So for now, at least, I think I'm going to leave this here and say that I will see you on the next episode of Project PITT, because I want to play more of this. I want to make my infinite duck machine work, but it's going to take some time, some effort, and a whole lot of noodling and fighting with the physics system, because some of these fans... Oh, is this just not on? Oh, well that certainly helps things, if, you know, that fan's running. May also cause some issues, but we'll see. Anyway, unfortunately, I think they're stuck in the duck artery again. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. We do have pinball bouncers, and that might have to be the solution. I guess I'll buy one, just to see. Just so somebody isn't telling me about it. Let's see. Is it a toy? Bumper. Oh god, these things are massive. Whoa. I'm going to have to figure that out next time. So, might as well mention that Project PITT is going to be on Steam on the 19th, so it'll be out in, what, a little under a week. So if you want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. However, the demo is up, I believe, still, and carries over progress, so you can just play it immediately and carry over. I have no idea how long the demo goes for, but it seems pretty substantial. You can at least get to this part of the game. I know that for sure. And apart from that, I guess I should say that this series is going to continue either... I mean, it might continue on this channel, but it's probably going to continue over on Wanderbots, which is my like, full series channel that I've been working on for the last year. And I've got a lot of incremental games that I cover there, too. But, for now at least, ducks! And see you next time. Bye-bye.